meteorologist Alana Brophy.
Does anyone else want an encore of Alana's February fish dance? Because that was iconic.
Yeah, we got to see it again.
Love that. Yeah.
Show us a lot. It's good.
February fish.
A little wiggle. You got to put a little wiggle in it. I mean, like February fishing. I'm obsessed. I know. I love snowpack. I love storms, but this year a little different. Typically we'd be ice fishing, but no, with the southwesterly flow and the warm up, we have been lucky enough to step out on the Provo. We don't see a ton of snow around me, but we do see some fish biting. Got a gorgeous brown trout. This is a blue ribbon fishery, but in February, all 4 seasons in Utah are the absolute best. Argue it. I mean, anyone who doesn't agree, come on, welcome. We love it. Okay. Very, very mild conditions. We're sitting in the low 50s in Utah County. Now, a different story up in Salt Lake as well as Cache Valley. It's 41 in Salt Lake right now. And throughout the day today, we watched as the clouds started to push in. I'm going to keep going and fishing, guys, so just stay with me as we kind of get through these graphics. You're going to notice those temperatures, 70 down there in St. George, cold in Cache Valley, and that's something that we're going to keep our eye on because we know a warm front is coming through. And that front is going to keep things interesting and mild tonight with that southwesterly flow that really is going to start to crank into tomorrow. Taking a look at the Black Desert Sky Camera, it shows you Ivins, Washington County, where we definitely know that we've got a little bit of sunshine, a little bit of cloud cover, and temperatures are running above average. Usually this time of year in Salt Lake, the temperature is in the low 40s. 42 is our average, and St. George is 57, so a bit of a different story. Taking a look at the satellite radar, you're able to see, getting some bites there, you're able to see that the cloud cover moved in the last couple of hours. We've seen just a few light showers, like for example, we had a few raindrops on us on the river, but when we arrived this afternoon, it was pure sunshine. So we know that the cloud cover is a good indicator that things are changing and a storm system is on the way, and it is going to give us a nice quick hit of cold weather. As we look at temperatures for the rest of the evening, the clouds stick around. It's 41 in Salt Lake. We'll see those 40s, but it's still going to be fairly mild in comparison to where we should be this time of year. All right, let's talk about this storm because things get a little different here. Wind is going to be the big ticket item. Now, originally moisture looked great and it sort of backed off. Not a surprise because the Sierras are going to soak up a lot of that moisture. So now wind is going to be the first element of the storm that we experience. Wind advisories have been issued for portions of the southwest corner of the state. That includes parts of Juab and Millard County. On top of that, all the way into Iron County, we could see gusts up to 55 miles per hour. So that's something to be aware of. Blowing dust is possible. Tooele County has also been included in this wind advisory. I think even though we're not under advisory, Salt Lake will be whipping. That means temperatures are going to crank like they did earlier this week. We broke a lot of records with those mild conditions, and we will see windy conditions and warm weather before the storm. The warm before the storm. But let's look at the storm because the cold front is really organized and it does bring a decent amount of moisture here. You're going to see it. The clock gives you the exact timing on when it's going to move through your area, but see how it sweeps through Cache Valley as we make it into the afternoon hours. So the winds will be gusting tremendously, and then we have the potential of that valley rain mountain snow setup. Now, we're going valley rain, and we know cold air is behind the front, but so is drier air. So there's potential for the dry air to move in, meaning we don't see the transition from valley rain to snow, but the mountains are going to get straight snow. The storm clears very quickly. Early Saturday morning, moisture's gone, and we know that the potential for that moisture really only stays with the northwest flow. If there's anything lingering, we can maybe see an early morning snow shower on Saturday. So it's a quick mover, but it is going to bring some snow to the mountains, which we desperately need. We talked snowpack yesterday, and we talked about how as the state, we were around 77% of average. So we'd like to add some snow. We do that. Here's a look at the expected totals, 6 to 12 for the Cottonwoods, backed off a little bit from yesterday. Wasatch back maybe 1 to 3. Trace on the benches, not super sold in the valley, but you know, we could maybe see that sloppy wintry mix as the front rolls through. Then things clear. The timing on that front does put it in Utah County in the central portion of the state by the evening. It's a commuter special. We don't love those. We don't want to complicate things on the roads, but the potential is there to see some wet weather for the evening commute tomorrow in the central portion of the state. As we look at temperatures, you're going to see those southwesterly winds really crank, and that's going to allow us to get way above average. Again, the 42 is the average this time of year. We're going to see the winds pushing us into the upper 50s. 60s not out of the question for tomorrow in Salt Lake. notice the mix of temperatures throughout the state. As you look at the next 7 days in Washington County, we get a decline with those temperatures. Slight chance when the front comes through that we get some moisture in Washington County. It's small, not super sold on that. Better chance in northern Utah, where as you look at the next 7 days, the moisture moves through quickly. The cold does not. We drop. Okay, we hit 69 this week, tying the all-time warmest temperature ever recorded in Salt Lake in February. And now look at those numbers. Into the upper 30s. It is going to be cold. The February feels are coming back. I hope you're ready for them. I am wearing several layers right now, so I have never slept on winter, and I'm not about to. I hope you don't either. That storm is going to be a quick mover. Clear for your weekend, but cold for your weekend. Brian, Sarah, back to you.
The February feels, the February fish. She's full of alliteration
today. Did you see that
today.
brown trout she got?
Dana, she caught one.
I saw. That was incredible.
You're not shocked.
Not shocked.
No.
Alana always has the luck.
Yes.
The luck of the Irish.
That's what they say. She said, we can't doubt her. We can never doubt her anymore. I've learned my lesson.
The only
way.
meteorologist to actually fish in February.
Yeah.
That's how tough Alana
That's a
Brophy
good
is.
title
That's
right there, Alana.